Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and then come into a good cross-legged position. Sitting cross legs, find your levelness. A little wriggle about, make sure that the feet feel level on the floor. They might not feel entirely level on the floor. The one foot at the front foot, if you like, you might kind of roll onto the top of the foot. The other foot, you might be on the outside edge of the foot. So you can activate both feet so that it's the outside edge of the feet that make contact with the floor, rather than rolling onto the front edge of the front foot. And then just assess, well, that makes everything else feel wrong. So just adjust until everything feels right. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area upwards. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears, lengthen your shoulders away from your ears. Spend a few moments listening to the breath. Filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom, looking down at the floor, looking at something that doesn't move. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Push the palms firmly together, lengthen your armpits into your elbows. Elbows into the heels of the hands into the fingertips. And then close your eyes. Allow your eyes to softly close, but keep your eyes still in the sockets. With your eyes closed, just go back to the feet, go back to the seat bones, just assessing your balance. Lift the abdomen up to the diaphragm, to the collarbone. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Empty the lungs from the top to the bottom. Just observe the movement of the breath. Observing how the chest opens the chest. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift the chest to meet the chin, and spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Just hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area as you raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open. Hold on to your knees. Elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. Draw your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. Just observe how your body responds to the turn this morning. Just listening to the breath. Listening to the breath. Drawing the abdomen across. And then come back to the center. Hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards, drawing the shoulders down at the same time. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Observe the inhalation, observe the exhalation. Observe the inhalation, observe the exhalation. And then gently come back to the center. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area upwards. Draw the shoulders down. And then come off your lift, sit back on your heels. Sit back on your heels and then come down onto your heels, sit back on your heels, lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area upwards, drawing the shoulders down. And then hinge at the hips, come forwards, stretching forwards. And then push the hands into the floor. Squeeze the seat bones down onto the heels. And then come forwards into Adho Mukha Virasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Draw the tailbone down to the heels, lengthen from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, into the palms of the hands, into the fingertips. Come up onto your knees, go down into Supta Padottanasana if you're not doing dog down. Turn your toes under and then come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Supta Padottanasana if you're not doing dog down. Just feel that you can lengthen the spine,
by activating the legs. In padottanasana, pushing the heels together. In dog down, consciously pushing the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Press the fronts of the knees through to the backs of the knees. Turn the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Listen to the breath. Feel the effects of gravity drawing you down to the floor, and if you're in dog down, then try and lift out of gravity. Lift from the feet into the hips, from the hands into the hips. If you're in padottanasana, well, let gravity do its thing. Just feel that you work from the inside out, from the bones into the muscles, into the skin. And then step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position. And then get a couple of blocks for your hands for half utkatasana. And then bring your feet as wide apart as the mat. Make sure that you can feel the heel on the edge of the mat, so that you know that your heels are wide enough. So have a quick look, make sure that the outside edge of the feet line up with the edge of the mat. Tighten the kneecaps, lift up into the heart area. Wing the elbows towards each other, and then try and get the thumbs to touch each other behind the back. You might not be able to get there, doesn't matter, but try. And then push the thumbs into the lumbar. Lift up into the chest. Wing the elbows together. Keep the head lifted. And then hinge into the hips. And then release your arms and reach down and find the blocks. Just feel how this feels for you today. So this is a pose we do several times a week. Every time we come in, it will feel completely different. Maybe it feels like there's resistance where there isn't normally. Sometimes it will just feel more free or less free. Just observe how it feels for you right now, because now is a new moment. And if we can draw our attention into the present moment, then we can do something. We can be present in the present. And then if we can be, then we can do something with this present moment now. If you can, then you can come down lower, but just be kind to the body. Don't just slam it into position. If you can reach down to the floor, then do. But again, just being sensitive to what the body is feeling right now. You might want to go further, but the body might resist it. So listen to that resistance, respond to it. Get the legs to really straighten, tighten those kneecaps. No bent knees, keep the kneecaps pressing into the backs of the knees, turning the fronts of the thighs inward. So if you've come down low, too low, and you're bending your knees, then you're not really getting any benefit from the pose. So be sattva, be honest with yourself, honesty of action. Listen to what the body is doing. Are you doing the pose with your ego or with your heart? Work from the heart. Work from the feeling of the pose. So ensure that the legs are straight. So I can see bent knees, so see if you can straighten those legs. If it's difficult to straighten them, then come higher. And then bring your hands into your hips, and then come up into the standing position. And then just be in Tadasana, lift up into the chest. Just be in Tadasana for a moment, and just be in Tadasana and observe. So are we acting performatively in our pose? Are we going down lower than the body really wants to, because the mind is saying go on, do it, go a bit further? It's always about listening to the mind. No, it's not. Sorry, it's about listening to the heart. Don't listen to the mind, because the mind, sorry, that was going in the wrong direction. It's about listening to what the body is doing. The mind wants to do things that maybe the body isn't ready to do in this moment. Just because you could do it yesterday doesn't mean you can do it today. Just because you couldn't do something yesterday doesn't mean that you can't do it today. So let the body be in the present moment. So the mind is working with the baggage of the past and the anxiety of the future. Just let the body be in the moment. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump the feet apart. Turn your left toes in and your right leg and foot all the way out. Just feel your position. Feel that the feet are in the right position, that this heel of the front leg lines up with the instep of the back leg. Feel it rather than look at it. Just feel it. Have a quick glance. Make sure that what you feel is what is happening. And then turn the legs outwards. The fronts of the thighs, turn them outwards, especially of this front leg. Bring the chest to face the front. Keep turning the legs, keep the chest facing the front, and then reach down. Observe the pose, just feel it as it is right now. Try not to let the mind interrupt the pose, because maybe the mind says, oh, I don't like this pose, but then that thought overbears the reality. So feel the pose. Feel the pose from the feet lifting up into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the hips, into the spine, into the heart area, into the arms, up into the neck, into the head. Feel that you're in line in 3 dimensions. Feel from the feet upwards. So have a quick look down. Make sure your head is indeed directly over your foot. If it's not, then lift the chest a little more. Squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards. And then look up again. Reach up, come back to the center. Bring the feet parallel. Just feel what the body is feeling. Feel the energy, feel where there are areas of the body that are resisting. Turn the right toes in and the left leg and foot all the way out without looking with your eyes, but look with the sense of feeling. Just like you can put your hand in your pocket and you can differentiate between your keys and your wallet and your phone. Have a quick look, make sure that that foot is in line so
So the heel in line with the instep, or you can go forwards with that leg, of course, if you've got stiff hips. Turn the legs outwards. Chest facing the front. And then reach down. Feel the pose that is happening right now. Sometimes we tell ourselves, oh, this is that pose that I don't really like very much. And we tell ourselves that, so we don't really like it very much when we go into it. But just draw your attention beyond that thought and just bring your attention into the feeling of the pose. Lift from the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the hips, into the spine, into the heart area, into the arms, into the neck, into the head. Bring the whole of the body from the bones into the muscles, into the skin, into the pose. Have a quick look down, make sure your head is in line with the foot. And then look up again. And then come back to the center. Bring the feet parallel. And then step or jump your feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. So sometimes when you try and draw your attention into the precise moment, then maybe poses that you typically do enjoy, you feel, oh, that's a bit stiff today, that feels a bit uncomfortable. Poses you don't really like very much, and sometimes those are the ones where you realise that they don't feel as unpleasant as you think, or it's affirmation that they do. But nonetheless, feel how the physical body feels now. Feel it from the breath. Drawing your attention inwards into the feeling of the pose, allowing the mind to just become passive. By nature, the mind is not very good at being passive. It drives us to do everything, but doesn't always drive us to do the right things. Feel into the body. Feel what the body is experiencing right now. Raise your arms above your head. Reach up to the ceiling. Extend into the palms. Have the palms facing each other. I run out ceiling height a little here, but you can still reach up. Clamp the knees together and then bend your knees. Bend your knees. Keep reaching up to the ceiling. Keep reaching up to the ceiling with your hands, and then find a low chair. Utkatasana. Draw the abdomen towards the spine. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Don't stay too long, Andrew. Just lifting up into the little finger side of the hands. And then gently come back to the center. And then come back to Tadasana. So listen to the breath. So utkatasana is quite a energy pose, isn't it? It really requires some energy to do, but then you feel lots of energy afterwards. Quite strong on the heart, so Andrew, don't stay too long in the pose. Raise your arms just one more time. Clamp the knees together and then bend the knees. Bend the knees so that you're sitting on an imaginary chair, but keep reaching up into the arms. Tucking the tailbone in, drawing the belly button towards the spine. Smile. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Keep reaching up to the ceiling. And then come back to the center. Lift up into the chest. Just observe how the body is feeling. Just give me a little indication how you feel. Thumbs up is good. Sideways is okay. Down is Bad. Okay. Great. Just listen to the breath. Focus in on long, slow, deep inhalations and exhalations. Bring your arms out nice and wide, in towards the chest, and then step or jump the feet as wide apart as they'll go for prasarita, padottanasana. So have your heels, if you can, on the back edge of your mat. And then you know that your heels are in line with each other. Have your hands on your hips, and then even if you have to bend your knees to do it, turn your toes in. And then straighten your legs. Lift up into the chest. So this is a pose that we've done many times, as opposed to utkatasana, which we do quite irregularly. So observe how your body approached the irregular pose and how you feel now it's a pose that you do know. Maybe it's a pose that you like. Maybe it's a pose that you don't. Try and put that preference aside and just feel it as it is right now. Wing the elbows towards each other behind you. Push the thumbs into the lumbar gently. And then come forwards, hinging at the hips, keeping the head lifted. Reaching forwards, keeping the head lifted. And then finally reach down. If you can't reach, then use blocks, but be on fingertips. Try not to go down onto the heels of the hands. Project the chin and the chest forwards. Just go into the feeling of the body from the legs. They're going to be feeling the majority of the pose at first. So just observe what they're doing. How are you activating them? Are you bringing tadasana into the pose? Are you turning the fronts of the thighs inwards? Are you broadening the backs of the thighs outwards? Are you lifting into the seat bones? Are you projecting consciously from the hips into the abdomen, into the diaphragm, into the collarbone, into the chin? Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, and observe the breath. And that observation of the breath will bring sensation in the physical body. Turn your left toes in slightly, and then the right leg and foot all the way out. Walk your hands over to that right leg. Bring the right hand onto the shin, bring the left hand onto the hip, and then turn the chest up to face the ceiling. And then look up, reach up if you can. Feel your trikonasana. Feel how it feels from the legs. So maybe it's a little wider than usual. Just be in the feeling of the pose. If you can feel resistance, try not to obsess about the resistance and draw your attention into areas of non-resistance, areas of freedom. Okay, bring that top hand down onto the floor, bend the front leg to reach down, and then come back into prasarita. Maybe go a tiny bit wider. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath, smile. Turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out, and then walk the hands over to that left side. Bring the left hand onto the hip, bring the right hand onto the, left hand onto the shin, right hand onto the hip, and then turn the chest up to face the ceiling. And then reach up. Are you okay there, cat? Okay, good. Just rest if you need to.
Just respond to the body. Just listen to the breath. Just feel what the body is doing right now. Okay, if you're in trikonasana, bend that front leg, bring the top hand down onto the floor, and then come back into prasarita. Lifting from the feet into the shins, into the thighs, into the hips, into the chest. And then bring the palms down, and then step or jump your feet back together, and then come up into Tadasana. Just observe the feeling of the physical pose, listening to the breath. So do you consider Tadasana a pose or just standing there? Tadasana is probably the most important of the standing poses. So feel it from the feet. Activate the legs. Activate the tailbone. Activate the abdomen. Activate the chest. I'm not using any other words other than activate, because I want you to use whatever action you understand to activate, so that you feel it from inside rather than just following instruction. Bring your Tadasana into a perfect straight line. Observe the breath. Are you holding the breath, or are you breathing freely? Aim to breathe freely. Okay, relax. And then we're going to go into dog down. So if you're not doing dog down, then you can go into supta padottanasana. So supta padottanasana, laying on your back with your feet together, your knees apart. Otherwise, bring your hands shoulder width apart, bring the feet hip width apart, and then come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Again, just feeling how the physical body responds to the pose. How it feels now in comparison to how it felt at the beginning. I always find that a dog down later in the sequence feels lighter. But just observe it for yourself. Observe the pose and activate it. Try not to draw your attention solely to the areas of resistance. Draw your attention beyond the resistance into areas of freedom as well as resistance. Listen to the body and not the mind. Listen to the physical body or not the mind. Often you find people punishing themselves physically. You see people in the gym all the time doing things that are really a punishment for the body. But yoga should never feel like that. It should feel intense. It should feel like there are challenges, but never punishment. Okay, come down onto your knees. Just stay down in supta padottanasana if you are in supta padottanasana. Just sit back on your heels and just observe the feeling of the physical body. And then gently come forwards, hinging at the hips. Just stretching into the arms. Drawing the tailbone down towards the heels. Feel the bones. Feel the bones extending into the muscles, extending into the skin. Feel like you inhabit the physical body. So the body is you, not just the mind. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself up into a seated position. Just so if you're in padottanasana, you can come up into a seated position, just observing your energy, and then come into cross legs. Just sit yourself back down on the floor in cross legs. So you might do half padottanasana or normal cross legs. You might sit on a lift or sit directly on the floor. Just feel where your pose is most effective. If you're kind of sinking and rolling off the backs of the seat bones, then sit on a lift. If your knees are really high, then sit on a lift. Observe the physical body lift up into the chest. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears, lengthening into the neck. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. Observe how it feels now in comparison with how it felt earlier. Listen to the breath. Use the out breath to intensify the turn, but again, observe your resistance. Observe whether that resistance is different to the resistance of the beginning. Gently come back to the center. Hold on to the knees, lift up into the chest. And then turn to the left. And then very gently come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just feeling each breath as a new moment. Just close your eyes for a moment and just experience the breath. Every breath is a unique moment in time. And then open your eyes, just come down onto your back. And then just pull your knees in towards your chest, just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then hold onto the edges of the mat and then raise your legs. Again, just observe how the physical body feels in this pose of viparita karanhi. If you struggle to lift the legs, then you can put a bolster underneath the tailbone or a block or a folded blanket, just something to just assist the lift of the legs. Maintain your attention on the breath. Listen to the breath as it enters and as it exits. Keep holding onto the edge of the mat, trying to tear it apart, turning the crease of the elbows out to the sides of the room. And then bend your knees, bring your feet back down onto the floor. If you've got a blanket handy, just bring that foot underneath your head, just make sure that it's evenly folded, and then stretch your legs out. Just come up onto your elbows, just make sure you're in a really good straight line right down the center of your mat. And then allow your body to gently release into the floor. Let the muscles completely relax. And hook the muscles of the arms and the legs, so that you completely relax. This technique of relaxation, where you unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs, is really effective if you're tired, if your body is tired, or if your mind is tired, and you only have a few moments to recuperate, and lay on the floor and just let the body become heavy, but then at the same time as that heaviness, you give in to the heaviness, you release the muscles, and then you observe the sensation of physical lightness on the inside. And it's that physical lightness that recuperates the body and the mind. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that energetic lightness that radiates from the bones. Distribute it down into the toes with the breath, into the legs and the shins and the feet and the toes, into the torso, into the shoulders, into the arms, into the palms, into the fingertips, and then up into the top of the head. That feeling of energetic lightness that only ever comes from complete relaxation. Giving yourself permission to relax. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. continually letting go of any tension in the physical body. And each time you observe some kind of tension and you release it, the body on the inside becomes lighter still. Okay, when you're ready, just gently wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just a gentle massage on the spine. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. And then stretch out the top leg, come back up into the seated position. Just across legs with your hands in the mat, your final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning. A good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to seek to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel really light on the inside. You've given yourself a really good stretch and your body is full of good positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.